hello, my friends. Welcome to Happy Brain, Happy Life. My name is Dr. Mireles Aponte, Dr. Mimi, for many of you that follow my teachings. And my goal every time here in Happy Brain, Happy Life is to help you in a very practical way think, feel, and act better, faster, so you can achieve your goals, so you can achieve your dreams, so you can feel happy and move forward in any area of your life. And today, I want to talk about a topic that's really related to simple actions that we can do to give our brain even more energy, right? Who doesn't want energy? Have you ever felt like, have you ever felt like you're tired all the time? I know because I have. When early in the afternoon, you feel tired, you feel like you can't, like you've already worked the whole day. You feel like you don't necessarily want to be going out all the time, like you don't feel the energy to even go and do exercise. And it's because many times we are lacking a very simple um, need that our brain has, okay? And it's very simple though. So hold on with me, come on, hold on with me. It's called oxygenation. And what does that mean is our ability to bring oxygen inside our cells. Now, our brain is the most important organ in our body. And I know everybody's going to have a fit with me, and I'll probably get some comments and things related to, no, the gut is the new brain and the this and then, but listen, guys, none of the signals are given by any other independent organ. The brain is the one who executes the signals towards the rest of the body, so our organs are able to act and be able to keep us healthy. So our gut actually relies on the brain to stay healthy. So, with that being said, and that kind of cleared out there, understand that this amazing organ needs something that is extremely basic. I have talked about hydration and sleep and activity and all of that, but one key piece that your brain needs is oxygen. Okay. And when we're talking about oxygen, yes, it's that O2 molecule, right? Oxygen gives and provides the cells the energy that it needs to connect with each other, to process information, to clear out toxicity, to just keep the level of alertness and focus. And so being oxygenated is extremely important. It's so important that there are so many cases, right? Of not only let's not even go to sleep apnea. I think that's going to be a topic for another day. But how we, in so many ways in our lifestyles, are deprived of good oxygenation to our brain. Now, let me tell you something. One very clear way is the way that we just breathe. As simple as breathing. And you don't think of conscious breathing as something that is necessarily going to improve our brain health, but it's not only important, it's crucial. It is so interesting that nowadays, even technology tells us, hey, did you breathe today? Hey, have you done 1 minute of breathing? And the reason for that is because the cells, once they are oxygenated, and what do we think about this for a second? Okay, when they're oxygenated, everything is, all the processes within the cell are able to happen and flow and continue. It's like having a flow of water. Think of your car without a gas to run, and nowadays, or without the power collected in the battery, right? If you don't have it, you can press on the gas and press on the gas, and it's not going to move. So one way for us to increase our ability be able to think, be able to make better decisions. And this is so important for entrepreneurs, for leaders, for people who are leading others. I mean, for parents, right? Where we don't think about it, but us parents, we are leaders as well within our own group and community at home. So we need to breathe to make better decisions. Now we want to work in a state, right? In a mental state where everything is rushed, where everything is happening, where there is no time for anything. And so if you can realize that we even talk, and I'm Latina, so we talk a lot, that we even talk without inhaling while we're talking. Have you noticed that? That we are in this life right now, our lifestyles are in such a rush that we don't even stop to oxygenate. Now, one thing I have noticed very different is like I come from a beautiful island called Puerto Rico. And although in my house in Puerto Rico, we used to have air conditioning in the rooms and all of that. Most houses there will not have necessarily air conditioning as it is in the United States, where we have, like the whole houses are enclosed, and the AC, or the air conditioning, is what really keeps the environment, right, recirculating the air. And so there is no other worse way for us to live than in just an encapsulation of air where we are not really intaking new, clear, clean oxygen. This is why it's so important to clear out the ducts, the air ducts in the houses. They're so important to give maintenance to the AC equipment, because unfortunately we do not get the best air out of being indoors. And so it is extremely important that we look for practical ways to oxygenate our body in different ways. Now, there's some very simple ones, okay? Like as simple as open your windows or walk outside. For me, it's fantastic. I live in 5 acres. I am outside most of the time. This is the few times during the day that I'm indoors, and when I have my coaching clients, I might be indoors, and sometimes I even take my coaching calls outside in the green areas, because it's such an important part of me keeping a healthy brain. So for me, being outdoors, it might not necessarily be for you. I have a client right now who has a lot of issues because it's very, very cold outside. And so one of the key things that we have implemented in her lifestyle is to go out for very small periods of time, but at least get herself out to get that intake of fresh air. Now, when we cannot have this intake of fresh air outdoors, we can always incorporate great oxygenation inside by doing what? I wish I could hear you through the screen, is by bringing plants inside the house. Now, we do not have to have a jungle to recirculate the air inside the plants, but I encourage you to research. There are so many plants that are great for recirculating, the carbon dioxide that we expel from our bodies to the clean oxygen that we need to intake, right? And so we need to keep that at a balance, or otherwise what we are providing in our breath to our brain is not what is keeping us in an optimum level of performance. Now, that is what we want at the end of the day. If you can see, athletes use oxygen therapy, high performance, high physical performance athletes and entertainers will use the intake of clean and clear oxygen to make sure that their brain stays in optimal, not only their brains, but their body cells, all of our cells stay in optimum shape. So oxygenation is going to be key. So now we know we can go outside, take nice deep breaths. Now it's very important that we learn to breathe through our nose, okay? And the reason for this, and there are different types of techniques. We actually, we have great friends that teach this, specifically breath work, and how it talks to our brain, right? How it allows our amygdala, who is our, fight or flight defender, who is the one who's always keeping us in charge. How we teach through breath work to calm down, to quiet down, to not get as excited and not respond behaviorally as excited when it is not needed. And so breath work can be a key component to healing, is a key component to decision making, is a key component to parenting, is a key component to managing differences among people. Now, I remember in my days during my master's degree, I have a master's degree in counseling, and I remember my first years as a counselor. Back then, I was a counselor in a school, and one of the things that I always would use to do before I had to solve a quarrel between two students, it wasn't just to sit them down and have them talk. It was two key things. One, I always teach about, which is hydration. So I would have them get a drink of water to hydrate their cells, because that certainly is going to provide some of that oxygenation that we need in our cells. But second, I would ask them to go for a walk. And it could have been, a walk inside the building, like around the halls, and then come up back to me and just circle around the hall. It was like a big squared kind of hallway where they could walk the whole round. And I would send them to go out for 1 or 2 minutes, a couple of minutes, to just walk. And the reason for that is because physical activity, okay, physical activity. And if you can do, I love the rebounder. I'm hooked with the rebounder. Let me tell you guys, 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes at night just makes a whole difference in your life. And so moving and provoking, right? Aerobic activity will create the obligation for your body to oxygenate itself. And so it's going to be deeper breaths, it's going to be stronger breaths. So physical activity is key for oxygenation. And so I encourage you to think, where are you incorporating time outside in nature? When are you incorporating some physical activity? Where can you maybe incorporate some plants inside the house? Where are you consciously opening your windows and letting some air in? When are you taking this conscious activities to improve how you're feeling actually in any moment? Oxygenation can help you right before a test, right before an important meeting, maybe when you are trying to wind down and organize your day, maybe when you just had a very rough or difficult moment with somebody else, with your spouse, with your kids, with your coworker, and take a moment to have a nice deep breath. Now, one of the ways that we can do it, and there's different numbers, everybody has a different technique. I can teach you a very simple one, and it's the 3-4. Sometimes people do 4-7. And all it means is that you're going to inhale deeper breaths, but then you're going to exhale longer and more than what you think you inhaled, right? And so that's going to kind of circle out and make your lungs expand as much as you can, and contract back again. But also, I want you to think of something for a minute. How do babies breathe? Have you ever watched babies breathe? They breathe completely with their diaphragm. So what that means, that is a structure right under our lungs, right? That is going to contract and expand. And it actually helps, it kind of suctions out the lungs so they can expand. It allows it to expand and then contract, getting all the air out. The more we exercise that, and this is exercised really well by singers, so this is one of their muscles, right, that they need to exercise constantly, is how they contracted and expanded. And the more that we're able to, the more our heart actually gets stronger, because we are teaching our heart to pump the blood, right, in a different pattern. So oxygenation actually helps your heart get stronger and better. And so it will be suffice for you to keep it healthy, right? To keep you going in life. And we all nowadays want to have a healthy life as long as we can. It's not about retiring at 60 or 70. Right now it's living until 80 and 90, but living it with quality of life, right? We don't want to get to retirement and then in retirement not be able to enjoy all the things that we say we're going to enjoy in retirement. It's about the quality of life that we're achieving. And so when you oxygenate, you actually, it plays a role not only in your attention and concentration, and memory improves, but also you are delaying neurocognitive diseases. So the more we oxygenate, the more we're able to give our brain an opportunity to stay healthier longer. Okay, so anytime you have a new activity, anytime you're exercising, anytime you go outside, take the time, even if you have to use a timer. I teach a lot with the timer because it creates consciousness. So my clients know that I'm always use the timer, use the phone, use the tools that you might have around you to really connect with the process that you're learning. Once you have learned it, then we can take away, that click or that timer or that setting that's going to tell us when and how, because we have already created the habit. So creating the habit for breath work, you can take a time early in the morning, and you don't have to try to do this 3 times a day. You can start with 1 time a day. I just incorporated this into a new client of ours, and I told her, listen, she wants to start the morning early. She wants to get up at 6 a.m. and go, not just stay in bed for another hour. So, one thing we're doing is literally 6 o'clock, sitting up and doing a breath exercise, like right there and then, moving away from the bed, making your bed, moving to a place where you can actually connect with your thoughts. And so, for me, it is a place right next to my, in one of my living room. My formal living room is actually only for me, pretty much, where I sit there and I sit. There's a nice chair that I sit in, and that's my thinking corner. That's my place where I go and I can stay quiet and I can connect with myself. And so that is why the term meditation is so used, because doing meditative work, is it prayer, a meditation, just connecting with your thoughts, just connecting with your present, with how you're feeling, all of that, if it's connected to breath work and breathing, will certainly make your heart already feel better, but then your brain is in a better position to make decisions. So, breath work, we're gonna inhale. The simplest one is inhaling 4 times, and I used to teach it by putting one hand in the belly and one hand in the chest, just to know that I'm not doing this, but I'm really inflating kind of my belly, and that's telling me I'm really pushing that diaphragm down. And what I'm gonna do is 4 inhalations. So 4, and then I'm gonna exhale 7. So I'm gonna count the 7 in my head, and we're gonna inhale. I'm gonna do it one more time for you to demonstrate it. My other hand is kind of down in my belly. Okay, and inhale. And if you see, there's one thing I did with this exercise: exhale, but I smile it out. And the reason why I smile is because there are studies that say that people that smile, even if you don't feel like it, are triggering areas of your brain to liberate some endorphins and make you feel a little better. So if you've done this, you can do 3 repetitions. Just do it once in the morning. Start with that. If you feel like you can find another time during the day, find a second or third time during the day to do this. And if you can do this outside, even better. I hope you have enjoyed and learned something about why it is so important to oxygenate your brain, get your brain healthier, look for ways, to walk outside, be outside, entertain and enjoy yourself outside. But also, it's going to impact not only your brain, but also healthy heart. So I hope you're making your brain healthier so you can have a happy life. And this is why here in Happy Brain, Happy Life, we want to change your life and transform it by little step and little things every day. Hope you enjoy and see you on the next one.